Hello Flosstube! My name's Natalia and this is my channel, OfficialMermaidsCove, where I share my cross-stitching hobby. Welcome to the channel, welcome to all my returning subscribers, and if you're new, because YouTube recommended this to you or you heard about me from somewhere else, welcome. This video is just going to be a weekly update. I held off for a few days so I could do a full week compared to my last update video, and you'll see why at the end of the video. But we're going to go through what I've been stitching on, my plans, some other crafty things I've been doing, whatever crafty haul I've purchased in the past week. We're going to go through an appreciation segment, and we're going to have a little bit of Q&A and then some shoutouts. So we'll start with what I've been stitching on for this week. I've been trying to work on my mermaids. The one that I've been taking to work, I finished. This is the Hawaiian Mermaid by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I stitched it on a 14 count black Aida 2/1 Aida square. The call for DMC, I did make some changes here. The fishies were all this dark blue color. And I went back and just gave them a little bit more definition. I gave them some eyes, and I put a little bit of detailing in the starfish. But everything else is as called for. And then for the changes that I made, I just used the colors that were already called for in the design. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. This is... I have a goal to finish all of the Autumn Lane charts, Autumn Lane Stitchery charts, and I started this one for stitching on Autumn Lane. It's a sal that I started in the group on Facebook, so that it gives us something to do while we're waiting on the Autumn Lane 2024 Mermaid box. That's supposed to be getting shipped out at the end of October, so I'll be excited to get that. In the meantime, while I curb my excitement, I will be stitching on my mermaids. So that was a finish. The other one that I'm currently working on, I still have a needle attached here, is this one. I can show you a picture of what it'll look like when it's completely done, though you can kind of get the gist. This is the Blue Lagoon Mermaid. This was an exclusive for Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics Mermaid box for 2023. I am stitching it. It was for the Mermaid box, all of these designs that were included were kitted up. So I'm stitching it on the call for fabric. This is a 16 count opalescent amphitrite, dyed by Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics. It also came, I have it here. No. I have so much stuff laying around me right now. It came with the, I need to look for that. It came with beads, and it came with a treasure. I'm going to be subbing that out and using some of the things I already have on hand. I have quite a few treasures that I've just gotten. I think the ones that were called for this one was like one of these flowers. I'm wondering, these are a little bulky to have, but these are like it's got like an AB finish, and it's a circle, but it's supposed to be right here where the pearl for that shell is. I might do this. That might work, or I think this is what's called for, but it's like an AB. It's got like a shine to it. This one doesn't really have an opal shine to it. I could also do, but a green pearl kind of seems strange, huh? I might just do this then. I might just go with this. Do that. And then it has 3 different beads. One's like gold. I really don't know where, I just had that a second ago, and now it has disappeared in the pile of things that I have lying around me. Oh, here it is. These are the embellishments. It came with a, I already have some green sparkly petite treasure braid from when I did the Dark Queen of the Earth for Autumn Lane Stitchery for the Dark Queen series. So I'm probably not going to, this might be the same green. It looks similar. I'll have to check. But I'm not gonna break into this one. I'll use the one that I already have started. And then it also came with these different colors. You see, this is the... Oh, see, but theirs is really small. Maybe this is kind of big. It'll be okay. I think I'll just go ahead and use that. But they have like a really small, nice AB. It says it's a Mill Hill 13010 treasure. It's like got an AB finish to it. It's like, has a bunch of different colors, like blues and greens. It's like a little flower shape. So that was supposed to go there in the center of the seashell. And then we have some Joedicke beads. Leslie likes kitting things up with the Joedickes. And I actually like their nice high quality bead, if you're beading. So there's a light blue, there's like a coral, and then there's a dark blue. And I am confident that I have beads that I can sub that are close to this in color. I had like some of the coral type beads that I used for my angel of love, my lavender and lace angel, and I have a lot of varying shades of blue. Put this back in there. I'm stitching this on half of the fabric. There's still enough fabric to stitch this over again. So those were the main two things that I stitched on for the past week. I did get a finish on my Hawaiian mermaid, and then I started something today since I got that finish. This is going to be for a friend of mine. This is a kit that I bought from Leanne at Forbidden Fabric Co. This is called God Creates Dinosaurs. It says God creates dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, God creates man, man destroys God, man creates dinosaurs, dinosaurs eat man, women inherit the earth. It's a quote from Jurassic Park, and I'm going to be stitching it for a friend of mine who's really into dinosaurs and loves the Jurassic Park movie. It came with the kit materials, so this is on a 25 count prehistoric. I measured it out, and it's actually big enough to do over 2, so I kind of want to make this into like maybe like a wall hanging or something, so I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. So right now I'm stitching it 2 over 2 with the included threads in the kit. The threads that I'm using, it's 5 colors. They're also dyed by Forbidden Fabric Co. There's Goldfinch, The Child, Lip Stain, Indigo, and Dark Roast. And if you look a little closer, you can still see some of the ground cloth behind the stitching. So the coverage is not like maybe what you would want for like a full coverage, but I'm liking the look of it right now. And I'm liking how it's stitching up so far. This was like about 300 stitches here. So that's like 5% of the chart. So I'm hoping to work on it throughout this month to get it done before next month. So I have enough time to finish it. So I started that today at my lunch hour during work, and I will be taking that with me to work to keep stitching on it. I'm hoping to finish the Blue Lagoon mermaid either today or tomorrow, and I might do a bead with me video. I know I've been talking about doing another one of those just to go through my process a little bit more. So that's all that I've been working on as far as stitching. I also did some fully finishing. I framed some of my pieces that I've been waiting to frame. The first one is the Pretty Watercolor Witch. This was a design that was charted by Hey Lady Creations. She has a website where she's selling charts. I did message her on the Facebook group and ask her because I didn't see this on there, and she said that she would add it, but I haven't seen it. I don't know if she's just been busy with other stuff, but this is what the back looks like. My husband helped me paint this frame black. We found it at Goodwill, and it was like white and a little beat up, so we painted it with some black satin paint that we got at one of our thrift stores, and I think it looks really nice. I stitched this is like a 32 count, and I stitched a 2 over 1 tent. It was really bulky, but it came out really small and really pretty. I took that to the Stitch Floor retreat, and a lot of people gave me compliments on that. The next thing that I finally finished framing was my Lady Catt by Nora Corbett. stitched this on a 28 count casual linen mystery. I got it as like a extra gift from ordering some charts from Enchanting Layer, and but they didn't really specify what fabric it was. I like how it looks. I like how it looks in this frame. I'm okay with the framing here. I'm thinking this is a little off, but it's because of how I sewed the fabric. I'm debating putting like some colorful scrap paper or something to cover that before I send it out. I still haven't made my mind up about that. But she is super glittery. She uses a bunch of beads, and she has these like pretty Magnifica beads in her headdress and around her dress. I really liked how she stitched up. And then the last thing that I finished framing was my Yin Yang dragons. I put the post-it there to cover my wedding details, but it fits perfectly in the frame. I'm so happy. I'm happy to finally have this done. I started this last year on my anniversary as a wedding sampler that I wanted to do for me and my husband, and it is finally done. I love Gecko Rouge kits. This was a Gecko Rouge kit. I stitched on 28 count, gridded even weave, and then I washed the grid out. You have to use really, really hot water, but it does come out. And I stitched on, I think it took me like 70 days, and this is just under 66,000 stitches. So yeah, it's really beautiful, and you can really see the details. They do a really good job charting on their designs. I stitched like the first set of pages 1 over 1, and then the rest of this is 2 over 1/10. Because I just was really excited and getting a little impatient to seeing it finished. So I can put it on the wall now. So I did that. I've also been, because I finished that, I'm toying starting another bigger piece. So I've been looking into organization and how I'm going to tackle that. I've been watching Stitching Masterpieces, and they talk about how it helps them to not have to keep rethreading their needles. They use a different way of doing this, but I'm just trying to look for different options. So I made this. I bought like a set of like 250 plus magnets, and it came with these really, really small magnets. So I kind of spaced them out so that like the needles won't run into each other. And I've labeled it based off numbers. Gecko Rouge uses numbers in their charting, and I am stitching still on one larger Gecko Rouge kit. It's the largest kit, well, largest cross stitch pattern I've worked on so far. It's a little over 224,000 stitches. So I might try to use this to help me with that. And if not, I still have quite a few charts that I bought this year that I want to start. So I'm hoping it'll help me with that. And then I have some other ideas in the works too. So we'll see how that goes. So the next thing I want to talk about is my haul. So what I bought this past week has been a mishmash of different things. I went by the Dollar Tree and I got a hole punch. Again, this is for like what I'm trying to do to see different ways that I can start stitching this. This is like the colors for my Persephone piece, based off artwork. It's a chart I bought from Thread Geeks based off artwork by Crystalbug, and I like tried to cut this out and punch out the holes for each of the numbers. Stitching Masterpieces mentioned that they use a smaller hole punch than like the typical hole punch that you get, so I might still order a smaller one from Amazon. We'll see. But this one was like the cheapest thing I get. It's like $1.50 off Dollar Tree, so if you need one cheap, that's something that's good to know. So I bought that. I also bought a calendar. They have the 2024 calendars available on not 2024, 2025 calendars available now at Dollar Tree. And they're $1.50, or this one at least was $1.50. I'm not sure about the other ones. I got this one because it says it was like a big print one. And I'm thinking this will be a lot easier to keep track of instead of having to like make my own calendars every month. And it'll be easy to show you here on Flosstube. It's got like really big numbers, so it'll be really easy to like to see the whole month and like see my numbers and what I've been stitching on. So I'm excited about that. So I'll be using this to kind of track my stitching. So I got that at Dollar Tree. Excuse the crinkles. The next place I went to is our local thrift store. It's called Joedicke Right. I got a bunch of stuff there. So I got this. This is like a big foam insert. I guess it's for like chair cushions. I'm thinking of putting it into like to back my. I'm doing a really big full. It's not. I guess it's not completely full coverage, but it's a. I tried by the Cross Stitch Studio. And I'm gonna eventually make it into a cushion for my husband. I'm stitching it 2/2 on 28 count, so it's gonna be a pretty big size by the time it's done. And I'm debating whether to put this in there to like help it keep its form. Of course, I'm still gonna stuff it, but I just want to be able to see like the cross stitching. So maybe this will help it keep it like straight for the most part. And I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be more of a display photo anyway. But yeah, so I got that for like $3. So I was happy to get that. And then I got some other things. So they had a full kit unopened for $3, and this is Wolf Kiss. It's by Dimensions. It's not opened and it has the Ada and the threads, and I think this is the Chinese kit according to what I've seen from Luda about the Dimension kits, because the organizer the way it is. It'll be the first time using an organizer like this, so that'll be interesting. But yes, so I'm probably gonna make this one of my Christmas starts. I don't have any plans to be stitching on like wintry or wolf stuff right now, but I'm happy to find this. I thought that was a great find for $3. I found some. They had some like cross stitch towels. I'm thinking some of these I'm gonna give to a friend of mine. I have a coworker who's a stitcher, and she does more home decor than I do. So like these have like pretty patterns. This like birdhouses, and this one has watermelons. So they're really nice, and she can stitch something on it. And then I got this one that's more like plain that I'm probably gonna keep for my house. And it gives you like a little pattern sheet. It says to receive a copy of this chart and a free cross stitch how-to sheet, send $1 to cover postage and handling to Charles Craft Inc. in North Carolina. That's funny. I'm probably not gonna do with this, right? But I have like some Sew Stitch mermaids. I'll probably see if I can fit one of them on here, and that'll be cute to have like in the bathroom or something. So yeah, I got those, and I think those they just based it off of like weight, and it was something really minimal. Then I got this. This is like a little quilted ornament. I give my coworkers ornaments for Christmas, and I thought this one would be good to give to the coworker who I have who's a stitcher. So I got that for $1. I don't know what this is. I think I've seen somebody use it before in sewing to like press their seams, so I got that. I just thought it'd be cool to try out for 25 cents. I got some flat lace trim. I'm thinking about using this for something, but I'm not ready to go all the way into that right now. I bought some black thread. I was running low on that. I got some, this is like transparent neon tape. I figured with holidays coming up, I'll need tape regardless. I don't really care if it's neon or not. I'm probably just gonna need it for like gift wrapping and like other odds and ends here and there. So I thought for 50 cents each, 3 rolls of tape, it's a pretty good deal. I got some zippers, different lengths. I have some that are 14-inch white zippers. Yeah, 3 14-inch and one that is 20. What does this say? 22 inches and baby blue. I got some. This isn't. It's close to belting. It's a little narrower than what I used for my stitch tote bag, but I might be able to use this to make like some smaller bags too, or just use it as trim. We'll see. I got these cute little ducky buttons. They're small enough where you can probably use them on cross stitch, but we'll see how I end up using this in the future. But I got that for 25 cents. There's this cute little office kit that had like a stapler, a mini with staples, a little tape, some book binding clips, and some paper clips, and there's something else in there. Oh, it's like a highlighter. So I thought that was really cute. They just had it for 50 cents, and after I'm done using all that stuff, it still has a cute little box that I can use for like other cross-stitch stuff. I got this. This is like a bead organizer. I thought this really cool. I haven't used one of these yet. I do have a lot of beads, and some of them, when I get running low, like it's I don't need all the that big of a container, and I'm keeping them all in like one plastic box right now, so I'm hoping I can like cut down the space I'm using for that. But this is only 50 cents. I got another zipper. It was a different color brown, but it's like a good brown that I think I could use for maybe like some autumn. I'm gonna try to make some project bags, so I got some things with that in mind. And then I also got some of this pink lace trim. I'm really picky about lace, but this looked like a really pretty pattern. I also got these buttons. I can put them on the bags, or I could take the backs off and make them into needle minders, but they looked really nice, and it was like reduced. I guess somebody donated them from Hobby Lobby, but I thought those were cute. They had some nice like flower stickers. Mental health matters. This is in Spanish, but if the if opportunity doesn't summon you a door, construct a door yourself. And then just some flowers. And then I got this set of like a variety of sewing needles for your sewing machine. I do have more extra needles for my sewing machine, but most of them are like the same weight. So I wanted to try it with some different ones. And I remember Carrie at Tiger Lily mentioned that for different types of fabric, or when you're trying to sew through like thicker layers of fabric together when you're making project bags, that it might help to have some different needles. I don't know if this was the size that she recommended, but it's some, I know it has different sizes than what I have now, so I can at least expand my range of needles that I have available. And then this is the same place that has all the cutesy critters that I've made into needle minders before. They had some that I didn't have yet, so I got a nice cute mushroom, and I got a little quirky owl. Looks so cute. But yep. And then the last thing, well, okay, this isn't the last thing. Well, there's one more thing after this, but I got this. I guess it's more for like scrapbooking, because it's got like a thing here. It's probably for like washi tape or something. But I was gonna get this because I have like a roll of stickers that I use to label my floss cards. This one's just labeled with duct tape. Usually I try to use like stickers and stuff. So I was gonna use this to keep that on, so I don't keep losing track of it. But yeah, this is only for $2. And then the last thing that I got from there was some foam. It's like this super structure foam. They recommend it for like cosplay, but I'm wondering if I could use it for, I know Carrie Tiger Lily uses this. Well, she uses, not this specifically, but she uses the type of foam to make her project bags, and they're like really nice and squishy, so I was gonna try to use this. And it was like, how much is this? It's like, I don't know, it says 1 yard and then 2 yards. I'm not sure what that means. So it could be 1 yard or it could be 2 yards of this for $3. So I figured that's a pretty good price. And it mentions other ideas for this would be like lunch totes, a basket liner, diaper bag, placemats or table runners, for cup cozies, casserole carriers, e-reader or iPad protective covers, computer protective covers, handbags and purses, camera case, baby car seat, or a shopping cart liner, and then an eyeglass case. So a lot of different uses. So I'm hoping I'll find some nice things to make with that. So just use the crinkler. This is all going to be put back into the bag now, and I can now start using it now that I've shown it here. Okay. The next, so there's another consignment store that a person who used to work with me opened, and I like going there every now and then, and I always leave with something. It doesn't matter. Well, she had this crazy blowout Halloween sale, and so she does this every Saturday, where she has like a bunch of vendors in the parking lot, and as part of that, you could fill a bag full of stuff that was Halloween related for $5. If it was costumes or anything that was like individually priced above $5, then it was like a different price point. But I got this whole adult costume for $2. It was priced at 10, but because of the deal that they were doing, it was $2. I am not an X large, but for the price, I will seam this or do whatever I have to because that is so super cheap. And also, my sister had just been sending me some pictures of my niece dressed up as Belle, so I kind of got inspired. So I was really excited to get that. And then we kind of just got odds and ends. Me and my husband tried to pick out stuff that we thought we could use around the house. I got a bunch of tablecloths. It's good to cover the tables when you're doing like fabric dyeing, so your dye doesn't get into your table and you don't leave anything behind. So I got a bunch of different tablecloths that they had that were Halloween themed. I might use them for Halloween party, but probably mostly they're gonna end up getting used for when I'm fabric dyeing. We got some different napkins. All have different things on them. You can always use napkins around the house. We found some like costume tattoos. I found this cute like little cat lace mask. More napkins. Another tablecloth. These were cute like treat candy bags. So those. I did one of these last year. It's like a porcelain kit. It was a cat on top of some pumpkins. And it turned out really cute. So I found this one there, so I got that. And then the rest of this is like ribbon. I don't know if I'm going to be using this like completely in project bags, but I thought I might use it in project bags. There's like this nice like orange velvet one. It's like a sheer orange one. Those are the typical ones. Oh, there's this really pretty like spiderweb one. I'm not really a big Halloween person, but I'm sure if I made a bag, I could gift it to my friends if I wasn't planning on using it. Oh my gosh, look at this cute pumpkin decorative trim. There's candy corns. There were these random like happy birthday ones, but I figured you can use that anyway, right? For different things. There was just some cording. It's orange and black. More, well, a different kind of the sparkly orange. And this is orange with black polka dots that are sparkly. Got a pink one that was randomly thrown in there. Another pink one. Blue one. And this black one with some gold trim. And that's not everything I got there. That's just what we got for the Halloween portion of like her shop. So part 1 of 2. But that was also like $5 plus the $2 for the costume. So you can't, that's insane. So we went inside the store, and this is the stuff I purchased inside. We recently had gone to a run fair, and I had seen some people with like different belts holding their stuff. This is not a run fair belt. This is actually like a woman's tool belt, but it's an interesting color, and I feel like I could incorporate it into my typical witchy costume that I wear. And like hang different things there, like my phone and my wallet. But I got this for like $15, and it's like in really nice condition. So I had it in mind for using at run fairs, but I could also probably use it around the house. We've been toying with like fixing things and stuff. My husband found this t-shirt. We're really big, well, we watch Supernatural a lot. My sister's a really big fan, and I know there's quite a other people in Flosstube who watch it. It's this shirt, and it says "Family doesn't end with blood," and it has Dean and Sam and their brother Adam and Cass and huh? The first guy by side, his name is Jack. This is Jack? Yeah. Who's Jack? I can't remember Jack. He's part later on during the season and stuff. You can talk in the video. My husband's helping me because there's so much stuff. He was very nice enough to play assistant, and he's being shy. Okay. Okay, so, but everybody should know at least the main 3, right? Sam, Dean. They really should have, I don't know, I feel like they should have had Bobby in here. They have Cass in here. How are they gonna have Cass and not Bobby? I feel like Bobby should be in here. But anyway, so yeah, we grabbed that shirt. Still deciding whether I'm gonna send that to my sister or hold on to that. I got these. I haven't done my nails in a while, and part of the reason I have some of those nail stickers that makes it easier, but I always like, I'm never patient enough. I'm always trying to do stuff when I'm trying to like take them off. And I'm hoping this will be helpful because the last time I ripped them off, it kind of messed up my nails. So I kind of like didn't want to. I've taken a break from using them for a really long time. So maybe if this works fairly well, and it says you can still use touchscreens and stuff when you have them on. So maybe that will help me not mess up my nails and still have like pretty things on them. So I got that for $2. And then they had this like random bag. It has like a little tag. It's got different pockets where you can put stuff in. So I figured this might be a nice little small bag to put some of my cross-stitch things. I'm not sure what this original intended use was. I'm sure maybe it's for like electronics or something. But it's got plenty of pockets and it zips up. And I like finding thrifted bags and like repurposing them for cross-stitch. And this was only $3 too. So that is officially everything that I got there. The Amazon package that I got that was delayed came in. I got a set of dry erase markers for the little board that I'm trying to keep track of my numbers to show you guys. I got a rotary cutter. It's a 45mm one from Fiskars. I don't have a rotary cutter. Last time I tried to make something, I was just using scissors. I was kind of like marking it out and trying to cut it out as best as possible with scissors. But I keep hearing tell that these are easier to work with, especially if you're trying to get like straight lines. So I'm going to try them out and see how they work. And I've heard enough warnings to know, be very careful with your fingers. Do not cut yourself. It's very easy to do if you're not experienced with these. So I'll try to use caution when I move forward with that. I also got these. These are some. Where are they? I'll have to see if I can find the other piece of that because that looks like it's missing something. But I got these quick release snaps. These are like, I think what they were advertising them for on Amazon was like bra strap clips, but I have like a different use in mind for them. And then I got these safety release things. This is for the idea that I kind of showed earlier on my Instagram. I'm toying with something in my head that I've kind of been inspired to do based off of the different full coverage floss organization that Stitching Masterpieces has shown on her channel. It's not the same as what I'm picturing, but I'm thinking maybe I can like, I'm trying to make something that's going to be easier to put into my bag that can carry needles and carry all the different colors for a full coverage project. So that's why I bought these. This does not incorporate this kind of like for different things. But we will see how this works, and I will show you the prototype I come up with. And if I start using it and I like it, maybe I'll try to make some more, and I can do a little tutorial. But that's what came in from Amazon. Oh, also at my friend's consignment store, there was someone out there with a stall who was selling pins. So I stopped by and I grabbed two. Look at that, it's so cute. I think this is like a chinchilla. And then they have these nice little pink flowers. So I grabbed those pins. I recently ordered some silks from Mosales. Mosale has a Facebook group and they also have an Etsy shop, but she's also in Florida. I think she put a message in the group that they're on the mandatory list for evacuations ahead of the hurricane that's coming. So I'm praying for her safety and everybody else in Florida right now. It seems like they're projecting that the hurricane's going to hit the whole state. So please stay safe. Please, if you're in the areas that they're telling evacuate, please, you know, be on the safe side. And hopefully everybody can hunker down and we'll get through the storm together. I do have family in Florida that live in Tampa, so I probably need to touch base with them and see how they're doing and what their plans are. But so far, all the other family that I have in the other states have been okay. They survived Hurricane Helene, and I know there's some people who are still trying to search for family members, and the death count seems to be going up the more that they search. But If you have the ability to, I know people are taking donations from the American Red Cross and the Samaritan's Purse, which I think they were actually based in North Carolina. And then World's Kitchen is one that I haven't heard, but I hadn't heard thrown around on Flosstube, but CNN pointed to them because they're also providing like free meals for the people who've been displaced and all the emergency responders. So that'd be another good organization to donate to. So if you can, and if you're able, please help them. So yeah, I ordered them. I don't know when they're gonna be coming. I paid the invoice, and of course there's no rush. I didn't order them for any specific project. Just thought it'd be nice to try out, and when I get those, I can show you how that works. But obviously, first thing comes first. Make sure that everybody's safe. The other stuff can wait. Okay, so that's it for haul. I have my appreciation segment. So if you were watching my Flosstube 2 update videos ago, I was saying that I was hosting a giveaway. So I will be giving away this pattern. Somebody was asking about it the first time I showed this, that they couldn't find it and they were interested in getting it. I don't know if Bella Filipina is planning on releasing this. I know sometimes for a lot of the Mermaid boxes they do after 6 months or a year from the box release. A year's already passed and I still haven't seen this, so maybe they're waiting longer. But I'm more than happy to pass this along. I'm almost finished with mine, so I will be finishing it before I do that, but that will be quick. I'll be done like in the next year or so. But I'm giving you the pattern. I'll be able to fold it up, and all the kit materials. I'm not going to use any of the materials that they gave me for the kit. They gave me DMC threads. I have been using those, but I can replenish them from my DMC stash. And I still have like some of the threads that they gave you, like it's more than enough to stitch it twice that they included in the kit. But the threads that I know I've used a lot of, I'll go ahead and replenish those. So you should have plenty to finish this on the called for fabric. And I will be giving you the other half of the embroidery. It is plenty of fabric to stitch this. You can see the size. I stitched this on just half the fabric, so you'll be getting the other half as part of the giveaway. I did open this up to international. I'm pretty sure I'm going to fold this pattern up, so hopefully anybody who entered heard my comment about that, and they're well aware. So if you are going to be upset about a folded pattern, I'm sorry, but I did put it in the video that I was going to be doing that. I'm not going to try to mess it up by any means, but in order to make it more economical for me to ship it, I will be folding it up so it all fits into one envelope. You know, a folded up pattern with the kit materials and the small piece of fabric will not be too much to ship, hopefully. But I'm thinking I'm more than capable of doing that. So we had 6 people who entered based off of the comments from my last video. I think it helped this time around for the last giveaway that I kept it open for 2 weeks instead of just 1. So because the last giveaway I did, nobody entered. So we had more entries this time. Thank you for those of you who entered. My husband helped me put all the people who entered their YouTube handles on a piece of paper, and we are going to do the drawing now. So we have them in this bag that I still have left over from Stitchery. So they're all the entries. Okay, and we have our winner, Enchanting Stitching 9697. You are the winner of this Bella Filipina Blue Lagoon Mermaid Kit. Please email me at my email. It's OfficialMermaidsCove@gmail.com. I have it in the description. Let me know that you won and give me your address so I can ship this to you. I will keep this open for 2 updates. If I don't hear back from the winner, then I will draw again from the other people who entered. So please reach out to me within 2 weeks so I can get us up to. Okay. Yay! Thank you for entering. That was for my 300 subscriber giveaway. I think at the start of this video I had like 323. So maybe we'll be doing another one soon. I do have 1 mermaid left from the 2023 mermaid box. And that is this one. This is Twilight Mermaid from Meridian Designs. I have the kit materials for that. And this is the fabric. Nepali. Again, they gave you, this is 16 count opalescent. And they gave you, it looks like they definitely give you enough fabric to do this twice, because this looks like more of like a longish pattern, and that it's, well, it might not be smaller than this, but I think this weighs around. It'll be plenty, so we'll see. I'll measure it out first before I start stitching on it, but if that's the case, then I'll stitch mine, and then when we get to 200, or maybe even, I might make this a 500 subscriber giveaway. For 400, I might do something different to give myself some more time. But then, yeah, that'll be another future giveaway to look forward to. So yes, thank you. I appreciate everybody who is subscribing and following along with the channel. I'm enjoying interacting with you in the comments, and I'm getting more comments every video. It's so fun. And there's so many new people making Flosstubes. I'm like following every single one of them and trying to catch up like crazy when I have time. So, okay, we've got that out of the way. I'm doing a little bit of a Q&A section this time around. I got one question on my last video. Somebody was asking me, well, it wasn't the last video, it was one of my other videos, but they just asked the question here recently, so I guess they just watched it. They were asking me about how I chart or do my recharting. A lot of the times it's just pen to paper. Sometimes I do it in Excel, but a lot of the times I'm just doing it on paper. For example, this is an example of some recharting that I did on my Dark Queen of the Earth. I think the lips were originally like this, but I wanted to give her like a bit of a smirk. So my husband helped like rechart this to this, and I just did that on some grid paper. I mentioned to the person who commented, I am planning on doing like a Mirabilia inspired king pattern. That seems really ambitious considering I'm not a designer or by any means, but I already kind of have like an idea for what I want it to look like, and I want it to be a partner piece to my portrait queen that I finished for my sister. So, and I got some inspiration from a pattern that Tilton Crafts had on their website. I can insert some pictures here so you can get our frame of reference. I can maybe show you that process as I work on it, and then as we go along, maybe I make that an own little like mini series with smaller videos like Flosstube Extra. So I'm thinking about how I'm gonna do that in my head. But if you'd be interested in seeing something like that and seeing my process on that, I'm not a designer, so I imagine it's gonna be pretty chaotic. But if that's something that interests you, I have no problem making some videos and putting them out there so you can see that. And that was it. I didn't really get a lot of other questions. Well, somebody did ask me how many mermaid charts that I had, and I told them I have a chart parade, so they were gonna look at that. I am planning on doing a whip parade. I might go ahead and film it now since I have all this stuff out. I have my whips like next to me, so that would be something to do. I also have my numbers. So for the last full week that I did, and that I do my weeks Sunday through Saturday. And that includes the Sunday and Monday from last month. I did 5,301 stitches, which is a pretty good count. I checked my numbers on my bigger spreadsheet, and I have like less stitches for my stitch count than last month at this point, but also my full cross stitch count is higher because I was doing the half stitches on my dragons, and a majority of my stitching last month was that. So I feel like I am getting more stitching done. It's just all of it is full coverage, or not full coverage, it's full cross instead of tent. So I'm happy with that. But I do have here that I finished my Hawaiian Mermaid and that I started the dinos today. And I'll be hoping on working some on my Blue Lagoon Mermaid as this is uploading to get some progress on that and get closer to finishing that here soon. This is the status of my whips as it stands, the way that I'm keeping up with them and organizing them. I have decided that I'm going to start Siren of the Seas. I can insert a picture of that now. I want to have like an Autumn Lane pattern going up until we get the Mermaid box. And this is the last one that I have that I haven't started on yet. This is the fabric that I'm going to be doing it on. It's a 22 count Hardinger fabric. I'm toying with trying to do this 2/1 tent. The pattern has over 13,000 stitches. It's 13,432 stitches. based off what I was able to put in Pattern Keeper. And I'm probably gonna stitch it like this with the light going up. So I might try doing it in 10. I've seen some people do that on 22 count before, and that'd be interesting to see how that turns out for like a bigger design. I think I've done it before for like an ornament, but I haven't done it for one quite this big. And so I already have that kitted up with the called for fabric colors. So I have that on my list to start. I don't know if I'm going to start that today or if I'm going to hold off until another day to do that. I'll probably wait until I finish my Blue Lagoon Mermaid, and then I'll start on that. So that's another start that I have in mind. If I include that, my current commitment, stitch commitment, is at 280,331 stitches. I have a maximum of 300,000 stitches, so that leaves me with a margin of 19,669 stitches. I have not replaced my dragons as like one that I get that's either over 50,000 stitches or over 100,000 stitches. I've decided to set that out with Siren of the Seas right now. If I get that finished, then I can probably look into doing something like that. But as of right now, with all the other stuff that I have going on, probably not going to start a larger design. I'm going to try to... Oh, the other plan that I have is to work on I Tried. That's a Grinch design by the Cross Stitch Studio. I can insert a picture here. I want to get progress on that. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be able to finish it this Christmas. And then I have that foam cushion that I can try to finish it with and stuff it. I've got a really big piece of MGC textiles. I think that's what it's called. And right now I just have the E stitched. It's gonna have pretty colors for all the different Christmas lights, and of course the greens for the Grinch. So I'm excited to get more done on that. And it's really nice to stitch in hand, so that's something I could potentially take to work with me as well. Funny enough, that 28 count has like a very similar consistency to the 25 count Lugana that I'm working the God Creates Dinos on. But yeah, I have a lot of things that are getting close to a finish, or that are less than like I have Choose Joy that's under 2,000 stitches. I have Fear Not that's really close to finish. That's my Sweet Wing Studio charts that I started last month. This is where I am on Fear Not. I got the umbrella done, and then I have to do the words and then raindrops. So that might be something I swap out for my lunch project once I get done with my Blue Lagoon Mermaid. We'll just see. There's a lot of different things that I want to touch. And not to mention all the patterns are going to come with the Mermaid box from online that I'll probably want to start immediately. So we'll see how this goes, one step at a time. After that, all that's left is shoutouts. I've been watching quite a few people on Flosstube. Like I said, I subscribe to every channel that I come across. But some of the people that stood out to me this week were Stitching Sisters in Christ. They were recommended to me by Silver Stitches? They are two sisters and they are hilarious. I was laughing and giggling with their video during work today, and they have really nice cross-stitch projects, and they have they do a game. A lot of people are doing games to like whip down and like get progress on their whips right now. Siska Stitches has done like a Monopoly game and I think it's a Clue game, and then she like made her own game based off of like being in a magical school. So the Stitching Sisters in Christ are doing a Yahtzee based game, so it's interesting to see, and it's like bee themed, so it's interesting to see them and how they work through that. So definitely recommend their channel, go check them out. They had another Flosstube channel, but sorry, not another Flosstube channel, they had a different channel, and I think Stitching Masterpieces mentioned they have a different channel too for like the smaller embroidery. So if I find that, I'll tag that too. But their other channel, I can't remember what it was for, but this is the first couple of videos they've made for a Flosstube channel. So they it's a brand new channel. They don't really have that many subscribers. So they mentioned they don't have any aspirations to like blow up to be a crazy big channel, but I think they're worth watching, and I'm sure people are just waiting to hear about them and find out about them to start watching them too. So go check them out. The other person that I have is Beck Spins. I love their video. It was so interesting. They had so many beautiful whips that they went through. So I definitely recommend that channel to go check them out. And then somebody else I wanted to mention real quick, Unconventional Cross Stitch. They posted on Instagram not too long ago, and some of their other social medias. They recently had a fire, and it burned down their house and their business. So they lost everything that they had to make kits, everything that they had to sell things. I'm assuming that includes like their needle minder supplies and stuff. So if you want to support them in this crazy difficult time, they do still sell. They have a lot of beautiful PDF charts available on the Unconventional Cross Stitch website. I've been eyeing a few myself. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I do want to support in any way that I can. So I definitely want to mention that to let other people know to go over there and support them if they can as well. There's just so many crazy things going on this time of year, especially when it's starting to get cold and we're gearing up in the holiday season. Like, it's crazy to think that they could be spending Christmas somewhere and not be in their house. I can't imagine. That's something, not a situation I've ever been in, and I can imagine it's very traumatic and crazy for them in this time too. So let's all join together as a community and show our support as best we can. So that's everybody that I wanted to mention off the top of my head. I hope you are doing well. Please let me know down below in the comments how you've been managing all these storms, and you know, we need some positive news in light of all of this. So if you have any positive things to share, please leave them in the comments. If you are stitching on anything for the Stitching on Autumn Lane Sal, let me know. I love Autumn Lane design. They are one of my favorite designers. I don't stitch a lot of their Halloween pieces, but I definitely like every single design that they come out with. And I have been definitely tempted. Maybe when I run out of mermaids, I'll have to find something else to stitch. And I think they did verify that they're going to be doing the next series, or the next release for their Dark Queen series next year. So I'll be greatly looking forward to that. But let me know if you're stitching on anything for that, or if you're participating in any sales lately. It's good to be. I've been participating in a lot of stitch alongs this year, and it's like nice just to feel like you're joining the community and doing something together related to our hobby and cross stitching. So be nice to know. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.